Hello and welcome to No Gods, No Monsters, a show where we as actors, writers and directors pretend to be criminals in a haunted city powered by demon blood. This is where we play Blades in the Dark, in which players take on the roles of criminals within the haunted city of Doskvol. But who are these scoundrels that will be telling this story? Let's meet the cast.
I'm Stephanie Tripp.
I play Willow, Tysterosi from a highborn family who's run away. And she has mood colour changing eyes.
Hi, my name's Nick McFadden, and I'm playing Lance Moon, a Tysterosi sharpshooter with a dark past.
Hi, I'm Ian Sanderson. I am playing Morton Duggery, a hard-working dredger man and smuggler who has found himself in debt to a very powerful crime family and with a ailing father who relies on him.
So before we begin, a couple of things just to run through. Firstly, lore, meta, bit of information that needs correcting from last time. I believe I said that it was thousands of years since the Cataclysm, which is slightly an overstatement. It's been 842, hence the year 842 Imperial. And secondly, I'd like to say a big thank you to John Hook, who is a writer for Call of Cthulhu, has written multiple campaigns. There's links in the description below to some of his work, but you might have picked him up last time around in a off-screen cameo. So, John, if you're watching, thank you. And with that, let's play Blades in the Dark. And welcome back. So, last time around, with Morton indebted to the Roscoe Syndicate, a gang based out of Crowsfoot offered an opportunity and a chance to pay off something towards his outstanding debt. Finding the Tysterosi, Arabella, and by proximity, Willow, who agreed to be involved, given her experience with the supernatural and the nature of the job involved recovering an item which was under threat of discovery from the Bluecoats and the City Watch. Despite nearly being uncovered and their whole operation being rumbled, they managed to avoid detection and found something still unknown buried within the walls of a dead associate of the Roscoe Syndicate. The item was recovered and with that drew in the ire of several spirits in the vicinity. Those that did not take kindly to the possessions of the dead being disturbed. Taking to the waterways and slowly making their way aboard the dredger towards the delivery point, they encountered the buyer, someone who expressed further interest in another spirit, that of Walton Sturgis, a notorious serial killer who is at the present believed to be haunting the waterways and canals that make up Doskvol. With those three acquaintances going their separate ways to indulge their vices, each of them encountering something different. Morton returning to his ailing father, while Willow took to the stage, but during that performance encountered something that has been pervasive and present for a long time. A voice, an unseen passenger, who offered a deal to lead her to the location of Walton Sturgis for just a little bit of time in the driving seat. And with that, let's get back to the story and to draw the focus to Lance. So, last time you found out that one of your acquaintances, someone known on your periphery, was taken in by Bluecoats for questioning, managed to hold up under questioning and was released sometime later with a very generous gift of yours,
Yes,
donating to a charity of their choice.
that was it. And where do we go from here?
That is up to you. So, you'll have another downtime action to indulge.
Ah, yes.
So, is there anything that any of you would like to do?
I felt as if last time we did pretty well on staying out of trouble with a bit of stealth. So I am in the mood for practicing my stealth skills, doing a little training.
Absolutely. And how are you going about that?
So, in order to be super stealthy, I'm probably going to start practicing, like, keeping my eyes peeled for places that I, like, little alleyways I can jump into, that kind of thing. Just kind of, like, generally around the, around kind of populated areas. Being the guy who can slip through a crowd incredibly without being seen.
Amazing. I'm going to say you mark off 2 pips on prowess, because smugglers have that special ability there.
Yeah.
Which districts would you like to do this in?
Probably around the docks. I think that's a pretty smart place to do that kind of thing, where people are kind of coming off and on to the kind of to the ships, and also in kind of big market areas.
Absolutely. I'm going to say maybe a check, see how this goes.
Okay. I mean, I'd love to do survey. I'm checking out areas. I'm going to go survey.
For sure.
Survey, maybe because I've got quite good survey skills. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Our survey says
6.
Oh, very nice.
Love it.
With that, and you're flitting between the shadows using especially the darker corners, and wherever in the docks you seem to find yourself. Where there's light, there's usually larger crowds. It tends to get a bit rowdy, especially as the night goes on. And fights spill out from the various waterfront bars into the streets. Avoiding the trouble it's predictable effectively.
Yeah.
Away from it, where the region narrows into smaller streets, and it's more a case of acknowledging for yourself that you can remain undetected as those wagons and goat-drawn carts pass by.
I'm super sneaky.
Willow.
I think I'm going to start my long-term project,
Okay, cool.
and that is dealing with the voices in my head.
Your lovely, benign, friendly voice.
Well, they're not in my head, though, are they, actually? if only they were in my head.
Yeah.
For this one, how much into the intricacies of the various spiritual systems would you like to go?
Well, we have a Mother Superior on hand.
So with various religious orders, do you just want to go to those sort of more public-facing ones?
What's her name? Naira.
There's Mother Naira. So she is the very gracious face of the Arms of the Weeping Lady, which is a house for the destitute located in 6 Towers.
Okay.
A bunkhouse and soup kitchen.
Okay.
So obviously quite a public face. If you'd like to go to Mother Naira, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Mother Naira sounds good because the soup kitchen aspect of things as well, helping out in the soup kitchen, and could be quite nice.
Yeah, for sure. So what you do for this one is you make a check of your choice. It's up to you which skill you use, but you've got to be able to justify it.
Consort, maybe.
Okay, so yeah, so you roll consort.
2 and a 1.
As you go in, there is a clamour, especially late at night after you finish performing.
Mm-hmm.
Going in, there's this clamour, there's various people in varying states of sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Naira and 2 of young acolytes look to be absolutely overwhelmed at this point. And while you're met with a gracious smile, it's dismissive at this time.
Mm-hmm.
With the advice from Mother Naira herself of try again another morning. Not so bad.
Sure. But the intention is there.
The intention is there. So what you've got there is a 4-piece clock going.
Sure.
Depending on how rolls go, that will fill up at different speeds. Once it's full, you'll have that ability you'll be able to push things forward there.
Okay, cool.
And Lance, what would you like to do at a final downtime?
I'm going to do some training
In
skirmish.
once again, you add two dots to the track. So at the top under prowess,
Yes.
Yeah, 2 pips in there.
Oh, in XP.
How do you go about training your skirmish? Where do you look to?
At the fighting pitch.
Absolutely, yeah. There's the fighting pits are located in Dunslow itself, a
Yeah.
ghetto of intricate, narrow alleyways that are built out of scaffolds and lean-tos.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the buildings here have collapsed and have been repaired with burlap sacking or whatever comes to hand. Large holes in the roofs and walls. Very few of the windows have panes and are boarded up. It's not a district for the amenities of Brightstone, of White Crown, those that have the means.
Yeah.
So absolutely, there's the training facilities are the fighting pits themselves.
Yeah. Great.
Don't talk about the fighting pits.
Don't talk about the fighting pits.
No, of course.
Okay, so onwards. As a new day dawns, that hour of watery sunlight as a heavy fog rolls in before the sun dips below the horizon once again and returns the world to its perpetual night. Is there anything you would like to do?
Well, I've been feeling that we can't just be poodling around on a barge this entire time. We may need somewhere to kind of base our operations a little bit better. We, of course, have... I don't know, I'm kind of obliged to you after our agreement last time that, well, one of you would take less of a cut because we have, future plans.
That would have been me.
That would have been you. Yeah. That was super charitable of you.
That's okay.
And I'm gone into the distance. But we've made a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it went relatively it didn't go too badly.
Mm-mm.
And I'm going to have a lot of I think we need to turn this into a bigger thing. So I want to come and find these guys and talk about some plans.
To find old Walter.
Right. Yeah,
How about you?
indeed.
Bearing in mind you also have a ghost in your possession.
I do. Well, it's a particularly sinister character, so I'm looking to get rid. Obviously, we've got this new mission. We need to find Walter.
Okay.
But also, obviously, I have the ghost in my pocket as well, who's going to offer no assistance. So, finding a buyer for that if one arises to get rid of it. Flint.
Absolutely.
If Flint comes my way, where would he frequent?
So, his is a one-time, rather outstanding, resplendent mansion, now fallen into disrepair within 6 Towers.
Okay. Isn't that where Mother Superior is as well?
It is. So 6 Towers is a region of opposites. Parts of it still retain its former glory, although they're rapidly shrinking, while the rest of it is falling into disrepair in something of a shadow of its former splendour. The vagrancy and many who live on the very, very edge of poverty call 6 Towers home.
Got you.
And the gangs are as numerous as they are widespread. So the House of the Weeping Lady is often seen within the district as the border between the two, located just in the sort of central north part of the district, and it's often seen as that the dividing line between the haves and the have-nots.
Sure. Okay, so
he is within he'd be in the southeast corner in the Tachirosi quarter.
Okay.
And very much a part of the world which is not only ignored by the rest of the city, it's actively avoided. The Tachirosi quarter is surrounded by superstition.
But I'll be fine there.
You're fine, yeah.
Cool, so finding Flint and offloading this ghosty to get some coin to help with our mission.
Good shout.
The question is, will you go into the Tachirosi quarter?
I think I mentioned before I don't want anything to do with ghosts. Of course, that's why we got you involved, isn't it?
Flint also might be able to help with Walter. We can ask him if he knows anything.
And approaching the house in question, huge resplendent doors, one of them sealed shut, the other one buckled in on its hinges, now lies horizontal in the doorway, leaves and detritus from the street outside over the once highly polished marble floor, now turned to a moss green with the growth, and a huge chandelier sat at an angle, crashed halfway through the floor itself as you step inside. Stairs that creak with the strain of ages, and otherwise just dripping water is the only sound that permeates the area.
So I'm in. I haven't knocked on the door yet.
There isn't really a door to knock on per se.
Okay.
But that is very much, that's Flint's base of operations.
Okay.
And so, what would you like to do?
Well, shouting his name. Does he have any acquaintances that reside with him, or does he live there alone?
This is more his office, if it can be called that.
Okay. So I step into his office then.
Anyone here that's present? It's people that come and go. He's got a few that are more regular faces. Stavro, a large, heavy-set leech who's usually used for intimidation tactics, despite the fact that anyone that actually knows him to be a gentle giant. Brolin, card hustler, who
cheats.
And Arabella, obviously, an acquaintance of yours.
Yeah. Okay.
They're the usual three that may be present. Others come and go.
So is Arabella in?
Yes,
Okay.
but otherwise
Unavailable.
yeah.
Got you.
As you call out the name, the words echoing through the house. You see dust motes that even float down with just the disturbance in the air. And a few moments later, you hear footsteps above you. Steps round, jumps over a small section of stairway that has given way and begins to make his way down the stairs. A lithe figure who is basked in the azure glow of multiple spirit bane charms, worn as bracelets, necklaces. Dealing with spirits, he is certainly taking precautions. The obvious Tajirosi traits revealed as he steps, and there's a moonlight that casts off the side of his face. You see the orange eyes with the double pupil, similar to an octopus. It's been a while.
Indeed it has. I was hoping to offload something, if you're interested.
Business or emotional? I can help you with one of those.
Business.
And as he gets to the bottom of the stairs, I believe it was once the dining room. Should we talk?
Let's. I have a particularly vicious spirit, just acquired from the walls of an abandoned house. Escaped the bluecoats. Took a lot of trouble. But I don't want it. It's more trouble than it's worth. So if you could take it off my hands, that would be rather splendid.
Maybe a check. Okay, at this point, I will offer you a devil's bargain. So you can ask for these at any time as well. So I can offer you a bonus die, but if the roll fails, the trade-off is you don't get any money until he sells it.
Okay.
Might take a while. What do you roll?
I'll go 2.
Okay, so you're not taking the devil's bargain?
No.
Okay. So on a 3, no one's in the business at the moment. Not for violence. They want great Artiana. They want Grandpa Joe.
Okay. Well, if you can't help me with that, have you heard anything about this Walter character who haunts the waterways? Anything you can help me with there would be much appreciated for an old friend.
You certainly just up the stakes.
You know me.
Know enough. Died about 4 years ago. Final defiant stand with the Bluecoats. Said that he was not done.
I see.
Took his own life before they got to him. Don't know if you know where he began as well.
I know he was a particularly nasty character.
Oh no, he was like you. Born for the stage, although ventriloquist. So, possibly the most derided form of entertainment apart from mime, close-up magic. But still, had some good exposure, had some good reviews.
I wonder if he's still working now as a spirit.
Oh no, it's what he did next. That doll that he was talking through
That's what I mean.
became a voice for him, his inner demons.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about rising up and stopped getting the laughs. And that's when he started his great work.
Mm-hmm.
Kidnapped, killed several people, carved them faces into smiles, and set them up as his perpetual audience.
Wow.
Used mannequins where the parts were lost.
Psycho territory.
That's what I mean, you're dealing with something else.
Well, good to know.
The Elysium Theatre's still there, it's where he used to play.
Do you think he hangs out there?
Who knows?
I'm trying to say haunts. Okay, thank you for the information.
Anything comes from your way that's not going to tear anyone from limb, we'll talk business again.
Thank you.
Don't be a stranger.
Likewise.
Stands up, jingling as the Leviathan bone chunks clink together on his arms. The little kind of salute, makes his way back upstairs. Is there a place you would like to meet?
We did really well at the Valiant Club.
I was going to say, let's get we meet in Silkshore now.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I'd probably stand out like a sore thumb, but...
The Valiant Club is a very different place by day.
Yeah.
It's going in. Montgomery, the Scotland security who you previously mistook for a waiter, he's present at a nearby table where and another sort of back corner table is an Aruvian gentleman, well turned out, although the suit he wears is a couple of seasons behind the fashions. Somebody who's looking to maintain the image of well-to-do, but maybe not quite maintaining it within that upper echelon of society. Sits at a table, large leather-bound ledger, open, another book to one side, and then a whole list of papers. Sits there, going through. Obviously, very different during the day. You go up, cutting your way just across the stage, away from the wooden panelling and the drapery. You go into naked brickwork, graffitied by performers of years but gone by, all leaving their mark in the wings.
Willow was here.
Yeah. And towards the rather tired dressing rooms.
Mm-hmm. I will find a dressing room, maybe one that seems to have a little bit of life or a light coming through the door. Give it a knock.
And with some time passing, Lance, are you here at this point as well?
Yeah.
Willow?
I'm going to say yes.
You may enter.
Thank you kindly, my lady, for your gracious permission. You got time to talk?
Sure do.
You performing a little later on? When do you start?
Not for a couple of hours.
Not too bad. I wanted to get you both together because I have been having some thoughts I wanted to run by you, if you will oblige me.
Mm-hmm.
Our most recent endeavour, I believe, went off quite well. And I think that it might be a time to start expanding our operation. You see, I mean, it's always been said that in this town, if you are not punching, then you are getting punched. And I don't want to be punched anymore. I want to get out of Char Hollow. I want to find a nice place where Pappy can get the care that he needs. And I want to get the Roscoe off my back as well. To do that, I need money. To get money, I need help.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got this next job that I can't say I'm looking forward to, but together I think we're going to make a good job of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that once this is done, we might be onto a good thing. Then perhaps we need to band together, start putting down some roots.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. I have some information in regards to our friend Walter. I went to see my friend Flint to try and offload this nasty spirit I've got in my pocket. He wasn't interested in that, but he did offer some information in regards to Walter. Apparently, he used to hang out at a theatre, and I was thinking maybe we could go there, maybe get some more information.
The first thing that sticks in my mind from what you've just said is that you've still got that little ghosty lying around.
I did try and offload. Flint wasn't interested.
If I hang around with one of your lot, I suppose I've got to get used to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all tightly sealed. It won't be a problem.
That waiter out there, I bet he's never dropped a bottle before. These things happen. Well, hopefully we can offload that as quickly as possible.
As soon as I get the opportunity, I will be doing so.
Do you have any way you can stash it? I'm not sure I want it on my barge.
The Marquis will look after it for me, I'm sure. He has a safe for such things.
Is he alright with that kind of thing?
Yeah, he knows.
Okay. So, there is a little matter. I think that we've got these options, haven't we? We can head off and sort out this, start investigating this Walter character.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner he's out of the picture, the better. Sounds to me.
More coin in our pocket as well.
Yeah. But I also want to find a place where we can lay roots down, as I said. Something that we can start growing. Now, I've been thinking that it would be a safe house.
Mm-hmm.
Not just for us, for the barge as well.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere we can store things. Because this logistics game that we seem to be in has become very lucrative. And the more stuff we can move, the more money we can make. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking of somewhere with a basement or warehouse, that type of thing.
I could ask the Marquis. Maybe he knows of somewhere.
It's possible. You trust the Marcus, right?
Absolutely, with my life.
Mm. Fewer people who know about this, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can get a lead. Maybe not tell him exactly what we're looking for.
Sure.
It would have to be uncontested real estate.
Sure.
Okay. Lance, we've been working together a little while. And you pilot the barge as well as Pappy did. Almost. He would never admit it. You thinking of sticking around?
Thinking of sticking around.
I hope I can make it worth all of our while. I think the rule should be that we're not tied. We're not tied to this. Anyone can walk away as soon as they want. If it's too much, if it's too hot,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to keep you here. But we've got to swear not to betray this endeavour.
No.
All right.
You have my word.
And yours?
Not to betray.
Not to tell, not to reveal this operation if it becomes beneficial. Because I know there are people out there who would very much like to know my whereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
That information might become valuable. So, if you will swear, I will swear the same.
I swear.
That's all right. All right. Hopefully that little bit of melodrama is all that we need. But this could be big. If we're dedicated, if we work hard, we might have a very profitable future together.
Mm-hmm.
So, first things first, we could go and sort out Walter,
Mm-hmm.
at which point we've got maybe a little bit more funding that could be useful in finding a place.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could get a base of operations first and use that just in case we find a bunch of things that we might want to keep with us. You know, or maybe this theatre's got some useful supplies. It would be good to keep them there.
I did think that. Horrible history. that went on there. But the little you know, the better, I'm sure.
It hangs around.
Mhm.
Something in these walls.
Well, if there's something there, I'll be able to feel it.
Is it derelict, this theatre?
Yes.
What do we know?
Well, it's where Walter completed his masterpiece, as he liked to call it. He was a ventriloquist artist, and when the audience stopped laughing, he created his own audience out of bodies.
That's probably the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's up there.
So, what, he would... You know, I wonder why people would go and see a show like that if they don't know if they're going to come out with all their bits afterwards.
Some people are drawn to the macabre.
Freaky bastards.
I can't imagine they'd know that going in.
No, I'm sure it wasn't advertised.
Anyway, the point I'm getting to is, if it's derelict, why not set up shop there?
Wow.
Is it exposed?
You've got
No.
some kind of a... I mean, that's out of the box thinking, but it's a start. I'm going to say no to the freaky ghost house,
Yeah.
but hopefully there'll be no freaky ghosts there,
Well,
just freaky bodies.
people murdered in such violence tend to linger. But I'll know when we go in anyway. I'm sure I'll be able to get some information from any spirits lurking.
All right. Okay. Let's have a look at it then.
Yeah.
We could take the... Well, how far is it from here? Whereabouts is it?
Crowsfoot. So
Okay.
next district to over eastwards.
So not far.
That's all right. We don't need to take the barge.
No. Caution going in. You never know, there might be some leftover objects. Useful.
Maybe more of your whispery types hanging around, looking for the spooky things.
Looking to be bottled up?
Well, if they're worth something, there's always going to be some interest.
Well, Flint did say if I come across any souls who aren't quite so violent, he'd be willing to take them off my hands. He's just not interested in...
So, with a score afoot, would anyone like to gather information?
I would love to gather some information.
What would you like to know?
I would like to know basically anything. As far as I can tell, we are about to go into a theatre with ghosts in it, and we
Yeah.
don't know anything about it.
Is Elysium abandoned?
Yes, that much is apparent from the outside, which we will.
Okay.
Okay. So, gathering information, we can just tell you that I would love to find out some entrances and exits and what is... I mean, it's a theatre. There's bound to be like a place for carriages to drop. There's going to be like a
Stage
stage
door.
door. Yeah, that's where you get actors involved. There might even be a loading bay.
Maybe the check.
Well, okay, well, that's going to be survey again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. I'm good at surveying. I'm really bad at surveying.
Wow.
I'm just gonna hold that up for the camera's benefit.
Snake eyes.
Snake eyes. 1 in 36 chance. Balls.
You do find a stage door with chains on the diagonals, and then through the latch, bolted to the wall, multiple padlocks.
No dice.
I was talking about wrecking earlier, wasn't I?
I think that our stage door idea might be a bit of a non-starter.
Is there a hole in the roof?
We could make a hole
A
in the roof.
leaky roof. Thanks, survey.
Okay. How many dots have you got in there?
0.
So roll 2 and take the lowest.
Ah,
Oh no,
it's not our day.
it's going wrong.
I'm rolling from now on.
The roof itself is incredibly treacherous just by looking at it. Kind of the buildings that rise up around it. Looking down, you see that it threatens to give way at the slightest provocation.
Ah. Do we have any equipment like ropes and things?
We're getting to load as well.
Yeah, burglary gear.
Ah. Indeed,
What
we
else can
do.
use demolition tools. Fun.
Good old stick of dynamite.
Yeah. Oh, climbing gear.
That shouldn't
Yeah.
draw attention.
Okay,
Actually,
climbing gear.
Climbing gear is an option. I think would we all need climbing gear to get up there, or just one of us?
One of you to leave it. I mean, it's ropes and pitons. And
Or we could even just try opening the front door.
Yeah,
We
let's
haven't
be-
tried that one yet.
To describe the building for you, it's large leaded windows in the front, facade predominantly glass. However, multiple boards have been put up in
Oh,
place.
okay.
The building itself still has the bill posters of the original acts. The ones of Sturgis himself have often been unsurprisingly defaced
Yeah.
with rather grotesque markings. Eyes have often been scratched away.
Yeah.
Comments of "Here awaits the devil" scrawled underneath.
Unsurprisingly.
Okay.
Second floor?
There is a gallery from the outside, lined with smaller windows,
Big enough for Willow to go through?
big enough to climb through. Yes, but
Ah.
not,
Are they
not
boarded?
quite the floor to ceiling.
Are they boarded up?
Roll me a single die. Tell me what
Oh,
that's the ones you want to roll low on. No.
oh, sweet. In I go then.
Great. We have a way in. Sorry.
What's your-
What did you say? That was second floor.
That's on
Yes,
the second floor.
gallery.
That would lead up to the gallery level. So that's overlooking the street itself is more or less a path less trodden. It seems that the majority of people coming this way are quite possibly those much like yourself who are chasing the unknown and macabre. Question is what approach would you like to take here?
Stealth.
Stealth.
And your point of ingress is those windows.
Yes.
First question, is this plan overly bold or daring?
Not particularly.
Going stealth. It's not massively daring. I mean, for me,
We're just
for
going
me
in.
it's super bold because like we're going into a freaky ghost place.
Yeah, to me it's like business as usual.
Yeah.
And I think we're just trying to gain entrance, so not particularly.
Yeah.
Does this plan exploit a vulnerability or hit your target where they're weakest?
We don't know.
We don't know.
So probably not. I mean, maybe if we're lucky.
But we're thinking and hoping that the place is deserted.
Can any of your friends or allies provide assistance?
I've already got Flint's help with this location, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So that
guess.
actually counts.
Yeah,
Counts
nice.
for something you know something of what to expect on the
Yeah.
inside. And finally, are there any other factors you would like to consider? Now this one also comes down to what load you're taking.
I'm going to go medium.
I think medium is fine.
Lance?
Medium.
And are there any other factors you would like to consider?
Just that we don't know what's inside, so to proceed with caution.
I mean, yeah.
Somewhat.
That sounds-
That's probably going to cost a die, but it does give you 2 on that engagement roll.
Okay.
And so 5. So, starting from a risky standard position, as described, the scene on the outside, that quiet alleyway, the Elysium sign now reads Elsum, where the Y has long since fallen down and taken away who knows where. As mentioned, building deserted, most of the windows boarded up except for those on the second floor. So let's make that initial roll. So you're going in, is that right? Make that check, and you can either do this with a greater effect, or you can have a bonus die if you mark off burglar gear.
Can it only be used once? What happens if it's marked off?
Well, once it's been marked off, you have it with you, so it's one of your items of load. So you've got 5 items with medium.
Would I need burglary gear or climbing gear?
Burglary gear will
Get me through the window.
get you through the window. Climbing
Okay.
gear will get you
Up.
up. So it's, I mean, if you take all of it, then it will give you another, again, same thing, it will give you another bonus die for the climbing gear as well.
But only one of us needs to take burglary gear because we only need one like smashy thing.
Yeah.
One of us could take climbing gear, so we kind of split it between us.
Does someone want to take climbing gear? And
Does Morton...
Well,
would Morton want to go in, even?
You guys go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
Yeah, Lance can be my gun if anything goes wrong, and I'm hopefully not going to need it.
Yeah.
But ideally, I'm the lightest, so I'll go in first and see what's up. Okay.
So-
So burglary gear.
so you're taking burglar gear. Is anyone providing climbing gear?
I'm happy to.
Make me that check. Yeah.
Finesse. Okay.
And you've got 2 bonus die, so you're rolling.
4.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Nice.
All right.
go for it.
Huh?
Okay. How's this going to go?
That's the 6. Okay, so
Fantastic.
on the short, very small window ledge, kind of propping yourself in, easing open the locks, sort of knife in the little,
Jimmying.
lift the catch, and the window swings open.
Cool.
Inside, you just hear that dripping of water through the roof. The building creaks as it settles, everything covered in a thick layer of dust, cobwebs from the ceiling, and it seems to be some sort of storage. Huge disassembled props lie in various places. What they are, who knows, covered under the dust. Lance, you're
Yes.
following. Inside you see your two associates disappear from view. Street at the moment, quiet.
I will whisper up to them as they start to. If you can open a door, I will happily come in and be of assistance. Might be very wise to open up an exit.
Sure thing.
My thoughts exactly. So, I'm in.
Followed behind, briefly
Lance.
moments later, by Lance. Two of you survey places illuminated through the windows from the little light from the extents of the street lamps outside. In the semi-darkness, what would you like to do?
Go down to the theatre from the gallery and make our way down to where the stage and seating area. I'm assuming the theatre is raked.
Yes. So as you do, it's intimate. You open up the door, which
Sure.
is the handle's given away a long time ago. The door just swings open, and the seats extend back from the gallery for 6 rows. Glancing down, you see the stage below. One of the curtains completely dropped from the others that show signs of being moth-eaten, worn, colour faded. The whole seating arrangement in the pit and the stalls looks to extend back by 8 rows themselves. So a very intimate venue. Probably seats 70 people, 80 people.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we make our way downstairs towards the stage area to investigate if there's any clues to help us find him, essentially. Any information we can gather. And after we've surveyed the stage area, go backstage through the wings and try and find a dressing room. Try and find his dressing room.
Okay, make me a check. Make me a check for the stage.
I would like to roll...
A 6.
Study.
Study, go for it.
Just one, yeah?
Yeah.
4.
Going into the just part beyond the curtain, you see that backstage area absolutely, again, packed up with the various acts that were once here. And a wooden box, so long,
Ah, I know what's in there.
as you hear very quick footsteps.
I'm going to hunt.
Ooh.
Maybe I'm making a grave. 5 and a 1.
What are you looking to do?
Essentially, find the root of the
sound.
footsteps.
Catch the glimpse of a figure who runs this, leaving this trail, almost a wake of foggy white mist. Disappears, re-emerges, discorporates again.
How do we ascertain whether or not it's Walter?
Catch it?
Is that your field of specialty?
Certainly is.
Well, in that case,
Ghost hunting it is then.
I'm going to say to Lance, there's something that when you see something like that, there's an unsettling presence that you just feel that lump catch in your throat. You feel your heart rate race that little bit faster.
Good job Borton didn't come.
Would you like to resist the effects of this?
I think I'll sit with the effects, breathe through it, calm myself.
So it's a level 1 harm of rattled.
I'm not capable of catching these things.
No. That's why you have a whisper.
So that heartbeat begins to, you hear it almost echoing in your own ears. As again,
I'm not quite sure if this is Walter or not.
judging by it, as you turn, you see figure in top hat and tails running, ducks under something unseen, disappears into a side alleyway.
I think that was the ghost.
Yeah,
Okay.
following the path.
While this is happening, while I'm outside, kind of very gently working on an egress route, Probably with a crowbar.
For sure, go for it. Go for it.
So that would be demolition tools.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take my demolition tools. Very, very useful.
I can offer you a devil's bargain.
Okay. I'm trying to work out how I'm going to... I mean, it might be finesse, but it's most likely rack, isn't it?
It's going to be rack.
Okay, well, I'll probably have to take a devil's bargain.
Devil's bargain. So I have a clock going for discovery.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in as loud as you like. It will give you a bonus die,
Yeah.
but that clock is guaranteed to fill up by at least one piece, and that's either on a 6 or a crit.
I'm going to take the bargain.
Okay.
Because I'm starting to get the heebie-jeebies out here. Because I know there's ghost stuff going on in there, and I want to make sure that everyone can get out quicker than they got in.
I'll say you either get a bonus. You can either have a bonus die or a greater effect with the demolition tools.
I don't want to be rolling the 2 and taking the lowest. I'm going to want the bonus die.
So you've got the bonus die from the tools, and then you've got the bonus die from the devil's bargain.
Here goes! Wreck yourself! 6.
Sweet.
Chunk.
There is a very loud sound as wood splinters against old iron nails.
Sorry, I messed up the stealth.
That'd be old Morton.
On that 6, you duck in behind one of the pillars, find yourself sort of eye to eye with Walter Sturgis himself on a poster. And a light on the road, on the street opposite, very narrow alleyway. There's light on the 3rd story, switches on.
Shut the door.
Door's not open, just a big piece of wood over it that was on there.
Okay.
That needed a bit of brute forcing.
Jimmy it back into
Yeah. Back inside.
I'm going to investigate that box.
Opening this up. Once, as you expected,
Mm-hmm.
a engraved brass plaque reveals Curly, who lies in the box, fixing you with those eyes, that strangely symmetrical face,
Mm-hmm.
still looking up at you.
Well, we found his toy. Is there anything else in the box?
No, the box is that velvet lining.
So just the
And then
dummy.
Inside's cut out in shape of.
I
improvised.
think if we take the doll, the dummy, Walter will find us. He'll be wanting it back.
Agreed.
So I'm going to take that, hoping that he will come looking for it.
Closing it up, latches. Well, if you try and do physical actions from now, it will be limited effect. This is a big, heavy
Yeah,
wooden carved box.
Worth it.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you would like to do while you're here?
have a little look around the dressing room, see if there's anything else, clues.
Maybe a check on that to explore. What skill?
Study.
And Lance, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm gonna go with Willow.
Heading down the intricate maze of the backstage area, various doors opening them up. Eventually one leads to a dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
An old couch in one corner. Despite the dust that covers it, looks to be one time probably quite a nice feature. However, fallen into disrepair with the constant the whole air of it just smells damp, where it's seeped into the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
You notice it sort of sits awkwardly on 3 legs, one of them completely giving way. Makeup table in one corner, which is now more home to spiders, and one of the drawers rattles. At this point, we're going to go back to.
So I've broken in, and I don't know much about ghostly stuff, so I'm going to leave that to them, and I'm going to go looking for the manager's office, and I'm going to try and find a safe.
Make me that check.
Survey?
Yep.
5.
As you do find the manager's office, it's brushing it off the door. You can see it on that, or Manga's office.
Yeah.
Brass lettering.
Yeah.
It's fallen away. Opening it up, you hear the clatter from just outside as the door is forced open and a light spills inside.
The front door is opened.
Yeah,
Oh,
light
crap.
spills in.
I'm going to nip in and close the door.
So you can all make a resistance check here, if you like. A prowess resolve check. So everything in the left-hand column of prowess.
Yeah. That's the number of dice you have.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
so I need another dice.
I rolled and I got a 5.
Okay.
So I take 1 stress.
You take 1 stress, yeah.
Great.
Okay, I got a 4.
So you take 2 stress.
I got 5.
As it's in the first one to hear it, is you hear someone clattering through, and then that deep.
Oh shit.
How
Opening
does
the door open a crack, just looking at you see an older man, lantern held up, with the bloody great blood out.
Oh shit.
Can I hear what's going on?
Echoing through the building, you hear that deep bass bar.
I'm going to hide.
You're currently hiding at the moment. That's part of the
Under the desk.
resistance.
Okay.
What's your familiarity with dogs?
Oh, I've seen him.
You can make me a fortune roll if you like. What you know.
It's a 3.
Bigger they are, the angrier they are. That's how
Right.
dogs work.
This sounds like a pretty angry dog.
I'm going to tell Lance to go and check on Morton, see if he's okay.
You stay here. Finish what you're searching for. Finish what you're doing. I'll go.
That drawer continues to rattle.
Have you done what you set out to?
I'm going to investigate that drawer.
Yeah, you investigate the drawer. I'll go and check on Doggery. I'm going to hunt. 6.
Crossing and using the shadows to your advantage. It's not long before that light sweeps across the passageway behind what looks to be an old magician's axe. The old propped up, right, saw the woman in half box.
Mm-hmm.
Dive back into the shadows, chancing a glance around. You see them head off the opposite direction, but doing a loop of the circuit. Dog head in the ground, like nose on the floor. Going the opposite way. So yeah, checking the drawer.
Yes.
I'm going to say, give me a check to open it.
Finesse.
Okay.
5 and a 5.
Oof. Poor man's crit. Would you like to resist?
That means it's going to be bad. Yes.
Okay. Make me a resolve. Get stress as you. Also 3 stress. As you stifle back, as you open the drawer, and inside you see the beady little black eyes, the brown, sleek fur, and large yellow teeth. It disappears back, and you stifle in and just manage to sort of bite into your arm to save yourself from crying out. As a very large rat disappears back into the drawer, back to Morton in the manager's office.
Being as quiet as I imagine they have started to move away from me.
Yeah, occasionally you hear that huffing bark seems to be disappearing, echoes in the empty building.
I'm going to find a very convenient spot to hide, just in case that I can kind of like bug out to incredibly quickly, and then I'm going to look around for a sec.
Maybe another fortune roll, just see what's in.
Another fortune roll.
See what's in here.
I'm not lucky. Oh, it's 1.
You have a dead plant wilted over, leaves scattered on the floor, a few boxes, and this place evidently falling further and further likely into its own debt.
I'm going to keep looking for a safe.
There is.
Yeah.
It's nothing
like
quite so
behind
fancy,
pages.
just a big iron safe.
Yeah.
Wheel lock door.
Yeah.
There's
Might
tinkering
well.
tools.
Tinkering tools.
Tinkering tools. I could, yeah.
I'd say picking a lock is certainly tinker.
Oh, that's okay. Burglary tools for an extra die. Push it for an extra. Come on, you tinkery 6. Come on. Oh, it's a 2. It's a 5.
Did you use tinkering tools or burglary tools?
I used tinkering tools.
Okay. Do you have burglary tools?
I can have burglary tools.
Because I will allow you to, rather than resist stress with the usual roll, I'll let you take burglary tools instead.
Okay.
As you open it, and there's just this moment of screeching, and you realise how rusted the locks are.
Oh, oil that shit.
And it's getting every bit of oil that you can to open it up.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately for the Elysian Theatre, fortunately for you, it's not a good quality safe.
Just be like, shut up your damn door.
What would you like to look for in?
I want to look through that safe for anything I can, anything of value I can just kind of shove in a pocket and then get out.
Or files and documents.
There are files and documents. There is a red bound ledger.
Yeah, I'll take a ledge.
Probably got, looking through it in memorabilia, to a collector. There's a few old scripts.
Collector's items.
Costume jewellery. Nothing of particular value, but to the right person.
Okay.
Meanwhile, back to you two. It's in the corridor.
Yeah.
On your way back to Morton, you're separated, so what would you like to do?
There's nothing else in the drawer. some old powder puffs, things like that, makeup stand, old dusty costumes on a rail. Go towards where I heard, or I think the sound came from where Morton is.
So you definitely heard that crash as the door was opened. Go for it. I'm going to say make a check, and this is going to be a. Do you just want to blind run it?
No, because I heard the dog.
I'm going to say if you're making your escape, I will give you essentially the option. If you want to try and sneak out, that will be a normal, regular effect, and a risky manoeuvre. You can do a desperate action to run.
Well, I've got that big heavy doll now.
So if you run, it will be a greater effect, but a desperate action. So if it goes badly, it will go really badly, but high risk, high reward.
Okay, high reward.
Make that check.
Let's go finesse.
Finesse. Okay, so hard-footing it.
4.
As you run through the maze, just retracing your steps, you hear the dog barking. Absolutely, as it just breaks out into a run. As he rounds the corner and you hear a gunshot go off. Would you like to resist? Would you like to take armour?
Isn't the gunshot not Lance protecting me?
This just carries through the building, just bouncing off everything, this echo.
Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna use the heavy armor.
Yeah.
And resist.
So make me a prowess resistance as you duck out of just instinct.
4 and a 2.
So you take 2 stress.
Oh my god. It's getting a bit hairy now.
As you instinctively duck with the gunshot and you feel something hit your shoulder and ricochet off, and you feel whatever you've got under your jacket just begin to wobble around where it's just been shattered, whatever plates, and ducking around the corner. Are you getting out?
I've lured them away from Morton now, so yeah.
So they've taken a shot.
All heard that gunshot, yeah.
Everybody knows. We've gone loud. You know what? Am I close? Am I close by?
You're on the same level.
You're on the same level, yeah. At the moment, Willow is running through the
hallway.
Through the hallways.
And you're hiding in your room.
I'm gonna run over to that area as quickly as possible, and I'm going to engage with the friendly words. All right. We don't need to use any weapons here. Let's just lower your gun, hold your dog back. Let's have a little chat.
Oh, maybe a check. Desperate action.
Desperate.
Just a bit.
And I'm gonna push myself as well for a second die.
Snake eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Would you like to resist? Resisting in this case consists of slamming a door.
Right, okay, let's do that then.
As you dive back, a heavy dog begins to run across the atrium, and you just hear the as the door just shudders behind you.
What flavour resisting?
This is prowess to pin up the door. 4, so 2 stress.
I'm pretty stressed now.
Come on, Lance.
We need you, Lance.
I'm going to hunt.
Okay. What are you going for? Is you hear
This
the
time
voice?
I'm going to specify that I'm going to hunt to kill.
Okay.
Because shooting at my allies is unacceptable.
You're gonna kill the man or the dog? Or both?
Yeah.
Or the man shot the gun.
Lance being Lance.
I'm going to roll a 6.
As he rounds the corner, you cross off and you cut him off at the pass. As you hear him shouting out, you hear, "Thieves! Little rogues, the lot of you!" What would you like to do?
I'm going to, since none of us have been identified yet, have we?
No.
Okay, I'm going to shoot him in the leg.
He instantly drops. Blood spatters out on the floor behind him. He just goes down. Gun skitters off into the darkness. Crawls backwards, trying to get away. You just hear him as you walk towards him, and a second gunshot goes off, followed by the toll of the bell.
The toll of the bell.
It's the bell by the crematorium, despite being several miles away. The bell atop its tower seems to ring in the immediate vicinity. In Charter Hall, unseen by you, the gates, big wrought iron gates of Bellwether, swing open, and a flock of crows with yellow glowing eyes take flight from above as a black carriage pulled by 4 horses storms out of the gates, bouncing over the cobblestones, piloted by a figure in a bronze mask similar to a plague doctor, crow beak. the eyes also glowing with the azure glow of plasm as they drive towards the location of the dead.
I think it might be time to get out of here.
So you're still in the office.
If the dog's on the door, I'm bracing the door. I wonder if I can pull something in front of it.
It's jumping up against it, but just using its weight. You hear that occasionally there's a splintering of wood as it's trying to get through.
Can I time it so that there's like a gap, like just after it pushes through and goes back to take a run up? Can I pull the desk in front of the door?
Maybe a check.
I'm going to finesse.
That would work, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I can't really push myself anymore. And get a 2.
You manage to get the desk in place as the door gives way, splinters, and this muzzle poke through, teeth bared, lips pulled back, full gun.
Now is a really good time to extend my concealed palm pistol and pop it in its face.
Oh, go for
I shall finesse. With 5.
It's writhing around and throwing it, and the door's giving way more and more. Shot goes out, and you hear this thing winged as it whimpers, slinks back, and with that, there's a window opposite you. And a beak of a Deathseeker crow
Oh, Jesus, that was
starts tapping against the window.
Okay.
And another.
A little while ago, I bribed Lem the cabbie, and I told him, in exchange for this bottle of whiskey, you hear any commotion, just pull up next to it.
Okay, so it's 1 stress, no roll needed on the roll. However, make me, similar to a fortune roll, this is called magnitude roll.
Yeah.
So single die, I'm going to see how drunk Len is.
Oh crap. He is 5 drunk.
Should not be driving.
Oh, that's great. I wasn't breathless.
He is waiting and on the corner. And it started out with have the whiskey to keep warm, and that turned into it's not bad.
It is a very fine bottle of whiskey.
He's 2/3 of the way through it.
Shit.
Just doing that thing every few minutes when he suddenly remembers how drunk he is and kind of...
Right, you lot, get out. Get to the cab.
I'm already halfway out the door. I've been running.
As you run into the night, you see him end of the street, running towards the cab, and as you jump aboard, climbing into the back, there's a crack of the reins and the big Acrosian goats that pull the cabs, kind of the sway of its head. Described as where a voracious appetite meets a bad attitude, this thing takes off. Given his current state of intoxication, it's up on the curbs. It makes quite a racket as he takes off, and you see that lights begin to go on in the houses as people
Oh god.
appear in the doorways.
Yeah.
Oh god.
This is going to be in the paper.
It's getting pretty hot now.
As you leave into the night, and we're going to call the score there.
Oof.
And leading it later into the night, as the early evening hours give way to the late night, would you like to take any downtime actions?
I mean, I'm gonna go and indulge my vice, my obligation. I'm gonna go see Pappy, make sure he's really grateful for the amount of shit we're going through to get out of this situation.
Make me that vice check, lowest of the 3 left-hand columns.
The lowest of 3 is actually 2.
Roll both, take the highest result.
That was a 3.
So you lose 3 stress.
It's not much, is it?
I actually said that I had to be at work in a couple of hours. I am going to be on stage.
Rushing in, quickly preparing as much
Yeah.
as you can. Go for it, make me that check.
4.
So lose 4 stress. And
Yay.
next day, papers come out and reveal shooting in Elysium Theatre obviously goes into the details of its dark background, its association with Walter Sturgis, all of those aspects, and that the oversight of it had been passed to the old caretaker who lived over the road and evidently assumed that there were those breaking in and set about
Almost feel bad.
arriving back in Char Hollow. You find your father down by the waterfront, just stood there overlooking the canals.
Pappy, you okay? What are you looking for?
No, I'm fine. I thought I'd just give the old girl a check over.
Oh,
She must be out.
yeah. It's nice down here, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mother and I used to walk down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you telling me. It's always nice. You always both came back with a smile on your face. Is that what you didn't?
You look like you've been through it.
I mean, it's been an evening. Nothing to worry about, though. Just a bit of dust.
Yeah.
You want some pie? Come out, you whip me up a little something tasty for the evening.
I was rather considering maybe having a drink. You want to join me?
That sounds really nice. It's been a while. Yeah, why don't we go down and have a little drink? You and me, let's have a little natter.
Adjust the place. As you leave into the night. Willow, on stage at the Valiant Club, look around, usual faces. You go through the routine, the fairly instinctual muscle memory at this point.
Yep.
And your act comes to an end. Is there anything you would like to do in the time afterwards?
Have a goddamn drink.
As the venue clears, the lanterns are extinguished and the house lights illuminate again. Bartender sets about cleaning up for the evening, puts a glass out, ready with the rum, pushes it towards you as you arrive.
I think I need to debrief with the Marquis. He knows not to ask any questions, but I obviously left a certain item in his possession before I left.
Take a seat opposite him. He goes through the cash takings of the evening, pushes it to one side, and I believe that's enough bad news for one day.
Indeed it is.
So, is there anything I can do for you?
Know anything about this? In the box, and there staring at us both, is Curly.
I know plenty about that thing.
My reason for taking it was I thought that old Walter would be coming after it. He was there. We saw him. Well, I saw him. But he's gone for now.
I'm sure. Look, I'm happy to keep your spirit jars where necessary, but this, I'm sure you understand. This is something else entirely.
What would you advise?
Burn it. Whatever you're involved with, walk away now as you have the chance. As he reaches forward, takes your drink, and he's, don't worry, I'll get you another. And he's absolutely downs it, puts the glass down, indicates to the bartender.
I made a promise to some friends.
This is a world that you're not necessarily a part of, and you don't have to be.
Oh. That bad, eh?
I saw him in show. He asked me to come to one of his, see if there was a place for him. Wasn't, I thought it was too.
Wouldn't?
If anything, I needed to laugh. Too much of a audience piece. It was simple comedy, irascible, dull, that used to say very, very, obviously through him, say very, some would say rude, but cheeky comments. It became something else.
Something more sinister, clearly.
He began to make threats. Said it was all part of the act, and then demand to know why the audience weren't laughing. He would stand up in the middle of the show and scream at them, "Why aren't you laughing? Why aren't you laughing?" Until, as well, I'm sure you know the details. If his ghost is still out there, and if you believe you've seen it and it's coming after this is your chance to disappear. Tie rocks to it and throw it into a canal, burn it to ash, hand it over to the spirit wardens if you think it will help.
I want him to come after it. I think I can handle him. I have enough experience. After all.
I really hope you can.
Do you think I need help on this one?
I think you need the help of forgotten gods.
Well, that makes sense why Flint refused to get involved. Flint's the best I know.
I'm surprised he's still around. The dangers that he routinely puts himself in front of.
Not this. He won't touch it.
Should tell you everything.
It's something to think about.
Please do.
Thank you.
As your drink arrives at the table, we'll go to Lance. Is there anything you would like to do?
I don't think I'm in the mood for gambling after all that. What are my options?
You go into this, the safe haven of Crowsfoot, the Leaky Bucket. So named not because it's the name of the establishment, but because of the sheer amount of buckets on the floor catching the drips through the roof. And headed up by one Mardin Gull, former leader of the Crows of many a year ago, man pushing into his 60s, still mostly dark hair save for a single streak of white that runs backwards and a scar down through one of his eyes, which looks out with milky white. This is the only place in Crowsfoot which is considered to be neutral, and where Red Sashes, the Ruvian drug traffickers, will routinely sit at one end with the Crows at the other, those that run generally extortion and the more brutal mercenary work. The district itself divided up into three. It was for a while racked by the warring Crowsfoot, now put an end to. And with the three surviving gangs, the Lampblacks, now eliminated from the stage, were replaced by another gang who make their base on an old Leviathan Hunter tugboat, one of the many tugs that pulls the Leviathan Hunter ships into the harbour. Itself semi-functional, but they've adopted the name of their boat as the gang known as the Sheer Disrespects. 3 gangs. Which one would you like to engage with to reduce the heat?
And where's the Elysium Theatre?
That would be east.
So presumably the gang in the east will have the most influence.
Red Sashes, yeah.
Alright, I'll speak to them.
The matriarch of the gang, a woman called Mylera, probably in about her 50s, but carries her age well, dark-skinned, and wears a very distinct bandana adorned with trinkets and coins, many of which are the Eruvian circulated currency themselves, more than memento of home than any real value of here, but penny values. The distinct red sash worn around her waist and a nasty-looking scimitar tucked into it, sat behind her back. She turns to look at you, and I don't see many Tasharosi frequenting anywhere in Crossfoot. And I don't really have many Tasharosi inquiring after me either. So, what's the nature of your business?
Well, I'm looking to divert attention away from me and my merry little gang.
I can put a word in with the right people. I tell you what, over there, as she indicates the table in the corner, fellow Eruvians, all with the red sash, sit fixated on their cards, none of them giving anything away. You'll leave some money behind the bar for them. And I'll talk to some friends of mine.
I have a coin.
Nothing quite so valuable. Please. I'm making a deal, not trying to extort you.
Well, I appreciate that. Take what you need. Here you are.
I can't drink the way I once did. Leave it for them. And maybe see you around.
Thank you.
Not at all. As she finishes her own drink, whatever you decide to do, good luck to you.
Same to you.
I've survived these Stormwood houses. I think I know what I'm doing. As she takes her leave. Is there anywhere else you would like to go?
No, time for some rest.
And as you arrive, going through Dunslow, the paved streets give way to wooden boards, which eventually are given up on entirely, and the pathways become mud and raw clay. And a figure sits on the doorstep of where you call home, Valeris.
Mm-hmm.
Man with a rough beard, hair that hangs down over his eyes, several scars. However, with his recent encounter with the Bluecoats, one of his eyes is slightly closed, the big welt going down now, but you can still see the purple-black, the heavy bruising of a Bluecoat questioning session. As he regards you. I think for your sake it'd be best if we spoke inside. Got some space.
Come in.
And he takes a seat and says, I won't waste your time. But I heard about something.
What did you hear?
Arrivals from Scotland, among the refugees. It's known to both of us, I'm sure. Steiner is back in town. Other one, Tasharosi.
What do you suggest we do?
I don't know, but the other one, looking for Arden Vale. Know the name?
Can't say I do.
Still, Steiner being around might be a problem.
So perhaps we should get rid of said problem.
I'll see what I can find. The two of them disappeared into a crowd of refugees and are now somewhere in the docks. A place very much like this. Referring to the Scotland refugee camp.
Perhaps we can bait him.
Like I said, I've got my friends, colleagues and associates to look into it. Just watch your back.
Oh, thank you, friend. Can I offer you anything?
Just stay alive until I might need you again.
Will do.
Tip of his forelock, heads out, pulls his coat up against the night air and the ever-present rain, and goes off into the darkness. Morton, anything you would like to do in the last hours of the day?
I'm going to go and have a lovely drink with Pappy, and he and I are going to reminisce and talk about all good things so I can keep a smile on his face.
He's actually in a pretty lucid frame of mind.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you necessarily need to be around, but just having sharing that time and seeing the man that he once was, as he's running out tobacco halfway through the night and borrowing steel to get his hands on more as he relights his pipe for at least the 5th time. Mm-hmm. Oh, should we get another?
You got much energy left in you?
Ask me that tomorrow morning.
I won't see you till the afternoon.
Go on in, one more for the road.
All right.
And as you toast glasses, we're going to go back to the Tasharosi Quarter, where approaching the shared accommodation with Arabella, you see 2 figures on the road who break out into a run at the sound of a second bell, the second one you've heard this evening, right in the area, seemingly around the house that you share with Arabella.
Someone's died. Or someone's been murdered. the culprits have run away.
They're running towards the building.
Yeah, so I obviously don't go in the main entrance. I go in the side entrance.
Clattering up the stairs, going in the room, you see quite the sight.
Over.
Figure lies in the corner, bleeding profusely from multiple lacerations, the eyes rolled back into their skull. A man, an intricate web of patterns on his skin and 2 antler-like growths that extend almost out of the top part of his jaw and back into his head. Arabella nearby, covering herself with a sheet, soaked in blood, and one of her many ornate hairpins in hand, blood pretty much up to her wrist. She looks at you, absolutely terrified. It wasn't him. He changed. He changed into someone else.
Who?
I don't know. And we're going to call it there.
Love that.
Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you next time for more Blades in the Dark. See you soon.
Bye.